Ooh. And we're here. What's up, guys? All right, let me go ahead and throw this on because, it's all about. There we go. All right. I don't know if anyone's going to be in here, but if they are, awesome. If they're not, then, half hour show is what it is. But definitely going to talk to you guys, hang out. I understand. Look, had to, in the off season, my Patreon streams are on Thursdays. During the regular season, it's on Wednesdays. The reason I move it is Thursdays is actually better for me, but I can't have it on Thursdays being, during the regular season, you got Thursday night football. Uh, so I move it, during season, off a season. Those of you that's been here on Patreon for a long time know this. Those of you who do not, maybe didn't know, but it is what it is. And now we are here. Good news on a front. I was that film room that I dropped for the entire first half of the Raiders game. The offensive film room, I cut out two parts. They were like 10 seconds each. And then the NFL lifted their monetization ban, their copyright hit. So it is monetized now. That was weird. I'm not used to seeing that. Usually don't have that problem. I don't know if maybe it was just a long period of time where I didn't talk or something, and we just watched the play happen, which I can understand that. But at the same time, you're supposed to watch a play and then talk about it. That's what I do, but it is what it is. So I am going to continue the film rooms. I am still going to drop stuff. We'll have actual player film rooms, going over players, individual play from the 2023 season. And that's what I'll be dropping over the next month. I'll be dropping a few of those. I've got all the film, all of it sitting backed up on my computer. All right. So that's a lot of film to go through, but I'm going to. I promise you. Those are the toughest ones. Going over a game, hard enough because you're watching the same game over and over and over 3-4 times. And finding plays. Going over a season for a specific player, that means you got to go through all these plays, right? It's a pain in the butt. I want to shout out you guys. Appreciate the donations that I've gotten over the last couple weeks. I'm really close, maybe like $200 shy of what I need to catch my mortgage up. So if you guys want to, every little bit helps. If you want to donate, $1, $5, $10, whatever, you can afford, and help me in that specific situation, it'd be much appreciated. Like I said, I got to come up with that within the next 2 weeks. And like I said, I'm only $200 short. I was 3 payments behind due to the situations that was going on with my wife and other things. So, but what you guys already did really helped me out, and I'm not as scared at all about losing my home and having to go get a full-time job to do that. And then obviously, doing a full-time job would cut back my content dramatically. I'd rather sit here and do this. So you guys are awesome, and I thank you a lot for everything that you have done. My wife appreciates it as well, and my son. Speaking of my wife, I've talked to her, and we may end up these individual film rooms. We may actually be doing them together. I've talked about this a little bit in the past, where she might sit here beside me. We'll be like in a little, in the bottom corner of the screen, right? And she could ask questions, and I'll do that. I'll explain things to her as I go through the film room. And that would also help those that don't understand football as much. same as her. And if she has questions, maybe you do too. I thought that might be an interesting way of going about stuff. So, we finished the season. Sucked that it ended the way it did. Congratulations to the 7 playoff contenders. Even though I don't think the Texans are going to make it, I don't think that Pittsburgh is going to make it. I don't think that Green Bay is going to make it. But we'll see. We'll see. I think the Eagles might get shocked too. I don't know if you guys seen the videos that I posted. Donald and I dropped it here on Patreon only. All 3 of our videos here on Patreon for this week. We did all 3 of them at once. We did our Texans Colts review, and then we did 2 separate videos, one for the AFC wildcard and one for the NFC wildcard. And I just dropped them all right. I didn't even drop the NFC wildcard video. That gets dropped tomorrow because all those games are on Sunday and Monday. So I figured I just one a day, right? Yesterday I dropped the review for the Colts Texans. Today I dropped the AFC wildcard. Tomorrow I dropped the NFC wildcard. But I asked him, you want to do 3? And he goes, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, we'll cut them down to 20-minute episodes. We'll just make it like 7 minutes a game. And he said, all right. I was like, I'll hold it to you. And I was like, yeah. Well, that's fine. We just got to remember, don't not go on a big, 10-minute rant, because that'll be the full damn show. But because we both can do that, right? You can go through heavily. There was a thing going around right now on Twitter that I kind of want to talk about. All right. Or something on Twitter I want to talk about. And it's about the Indianapolis Colts defense. And it has nothing, I'm not going to talk about Gus Bradley. All right. Look, I've been saying for months Gus Bradley is going to be here. And guess what? I was right. The brass really believe in Gus Bradley, like what he's done, considering the situation that he has been through with having a decimated secondary. Right. So that's that. But I'm talking about legitimately our defensive line. Okay. Yes, Indianapolis set a Indy record, not a franchise, but the Indy record for most sacks in a season. Good on them. That's awesome. We still are lacking a premier pass rusher. Yes, we have, 5 or 6 guys that can get to the quarterback and get a sack. That's awesome. But we don't have a guy that's consistently getting pressure off the edge. Ibukam did a pretty good job. Pay had more sacks than what he had last year, but, there's no consistent pressure. They're not winning their one-on-ones consistently, forcing quarterbacks to throw the football and run out of the pocket, right? We only have one guy on our team that can win one-on-one consistently, and that's DeForest Buckner. Now, Grover Stewart, I think he can, but he's guaranteed a double team. Most of the time, it's him and Defoe both getting double teamed, right? So that, you double down on the front and you end up getting one-on-ones on the edge, and our edges should be winning one-on-one, and we're not. All right. And that's the problem that I want to talk about. Our pressure rate is horrible. It's like 20th in the NFL pressure rate. All right. Sure, we were top 5 in sacks, but we were 20th in pressure rate. And that is incredibly important. And a lot of people brought that up to me throughout the season. And I heard you. And I agreed with you. But, getting sacks is nice as well, right? But we're not high on we don't have anyone that has a high pressure rate, high quarterback hit rate. We don't have. Now, let's be fair. Bosa, Watt, Garrett, Crosby, those are outlandish dudes. Those are top 5 guys, right? But we don't have another guy on the outside that's top 10. I'd like to have a top 10 edge rusher, right? someone that you know that's going to consistently get out there, get 5 or 6 pressures a game, right? At least 3 a game. I mean, good Lord. We don't have anyone that gets 3 a game, 3 pressures a game. And you figure that's like 50 pressures on a season. The most, hold on, that's not even 50. Hold on. Colts team stats, 2023 stats. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Advanced defense. Let's look at the pressures. Person with most pressures, DeForest Buckner, 25. That's not even 1.5 a game. No, that's dead on 1.5 a game. 1.5 pressure a game. That's it. And that's the most, okay? That's the most. You got Buckner, Odangbo, Ibukam. Those are the only guys that are over 20 that are averaging 1 or 1.5 a game, right? Kwity Paye, less than 1 a game. No, okay, he is averaging 1 a game. He's got 17. 1 a game. That's it. That's awful. I mean, that's awful. You go look at NFL regular, like NFL, sack and pressure leaders. Here we go. Let's go look at this. Now, obviously, I'm not really worried a whole lot with the sacks, but let's look at the pressure leaders. Here we go. Sorry. All right. Now, I don't have. That's player stats. I don't have pressures. We'll go up quarterback hits. Let's look at quarterback hits. All right, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people with at least 30 quarterback hits. 30. 8 of them. That's outside of sacks. Okay. That's outside of sacks. Where's the closest guy we have? DeForest Buckner. 21 quarterback hits. He's 26th. 26th in the NFL. We don't have a top 10 guy. We don't have a top 20 guy when it comes to getting actual pressure on a quarterback. That's what I'm talking about. That's we need something like that. You can't have your best guy be 26th in the NFL, at getting pressure and hits and stuff like that. The next guy after DeForest Buckner, Samson Ebukam, 17. He averaged 1 quarterback hit a week. That's nuts. That's not good enough. He's 46th. 46th. So 26th and 46th. We need that dominant edge rush guy. Okay, I think that would make a huge bonus for the Indianapolis Colts. When you have one, you have one, right? You're proud of them. You talk about them all the time. I mean, look, I talk about DeForest Buckner all the time because I feel like he's one of the best defensive tackles in football. Top 3, in my opinion. Maybe top 2 right now. Because I fully 100% believe he is way better than Aaron Donald right now. Maybe not career-wise, but, right now. But we don't have that, oh my goodness, edge guy. And I don't know if Kwity Paye will get a contract extension. I don't even know if he's going to get a 5th-year extension. Look, he's good against the run, and that's nice, especially for, strong side, which is where he plays. He's good against the run. But we definitely need a guy who can get off the edge. Sampson's fine, but he's not a stud. He didn't have 10-plus sacks. We didn't have anyone with 10-plus sacks this year. Not a single one. Again, it was sacked by committee, which is nice, which means, the quarterback don't know where the pressure is coming from. Okay. But you still, you don't want a quarterback to sit in the pocket completely, at ease, because he's lucky to get pressured twice, 3 or 4 times a game. And that's all the pressure we're getting on him, combined by all of our defensive linemen. First off, because we don't blitz, right? Least blitzing team in the league by a large margin. Some of y'all can talk about, like I said, I'm not going to talk about Gus Bradley this stream. Not going to. I've already said all the pieces that I'm going to have about Gus Bradley. But I think we need, now, a lot of the quarterbacks that we played against get rid of the ball really quick, right? Not a lot of guys that sit there and hold on to the football, right? I would say Lamar Jackson was one that likes to hold on to the football, and we pressured the hell out of him. We blitzed the hell out of him, right? And got a lot of pressures, got some sacks, turnovers, bad passes, that kind of stuff. But he held on to the football. Stroud doesn't do that. Lawrence gets rid of the football pretty quick. Look, these are our division guys. We have to be able to affect our own division guys first and foremost. And if they get rid of the ball quick, then we need guys who can cover and force him to hold the ball a little bit longer, and edge guys that can get out there and force him to throw it before he's ready. Now, I understand that our secondary was awful this year, but a lot of that had to do, in my opinion, with, the inexperience because of the decimation from not just injuries, but, suspensions, things of that nature. So we had a very, very young secondary this year. Guys not playing in the positions that we'd like to have. And everybody was at fault, right? Brent's had good moments, had bad moments. Jones, same thing. The only guy I felt like that was fairly consistent was Kenny Moore, and even he had like 2 or 3 games that were not good, right? He had some really damn good games, though. Don't get me wrong. Kenny had a pretty good bounce back season overall. But and then of course back at the safety position, look, unacceptable. Just straight up unacceptable. Rodney Thomas, unacceptable. Nick Cross, unacceptable. Okay. I get Blackman was out. He was hurt. He's on IR. I understand that. Even Blackman had games where you're like, what the hell are you doing? But for the most part, I think Blackman played a pretty decent season. But he was hurt. We can't just have one okay safety. We need 2 starting safeties. And this year, we did not have 2 starting quality safeties playing. We did not. In a cover zone where you're running a lot of cover 2, cover 3, your safeties are supposed to be sitting back protecting the deep ball. Right? That's what they're supposed to do majority of the time. Occasionally you'll bring them up into the box, or something of that nature. But when you're in cover 2, cover 3, they're for the most part protecting that deep ball. And we had way, way too many explosive plays against us. Way too many. We need better play out of the safety. I think we need more better play out of the safety position than we do cornerback position. Just let me say that. I also feel like our tight ends are okay. Gardner did not look. Gardner liked specific players, and he overthrew specific players. He did not like to throw to Alec Pierce very often. I think mainly because, he doesn't like throwing that deep ball, and he likes to get rid of the ball quickly, right? So, and Alec is there to try to keep the safeties respectable, in a respectable position off the line of scrimmage. That's what Alec is there for, and he does a good job of that. He throws the ball a lot to Michael Pittman Jr., right? And he threw it a lot to whoever was playing slot. A lot of that was, our rookie, our rookie slot guy. Threw it to our running backs occasionally. And tight ends will get an occasional throw, but man, a lot of times he'd overthrow or just throw bad passes to our tight ends. The middle of the field is not good. Anthony Richardson is going to change a lot on the offense next year. He can stand tall in the pocket. He can see over guys, where Minshew had to move around to see people sometimes because he's a little bit of a shorter stature. And Richardson has not just a cannon for an arm, but the unbelievable quick release, flick of the wrist, and the ball's launched 70 yards. He's going to open up the field a ton. Pittman will still get his shares, but I feel like, tight ends will get more balls because, you saw he loved seam routes from tight ends. Anthony Richardson did, and exploited the hell out of them with Granson and Ogletree this past year when he played earlier in the season, right? And then, of course, we'll get Jelani Woods back after he finally gets that stupid hamstring fixed and figured out. So, but yeah, I'm just ranting, talking, about how I feel about certain things. Hopefully you guys do go back and look at my previous stream earlier, because that was a pretty good one, where we talk about the wild card matchups, Donald and I. Weird that we agreed on every single damn game. Every one of them. What the hell? That's nuts. Do I have anyone sending me an email right now? That's weird that I didn't get an email. Nope, no emails. Huh. Must just be that a lot of you were expecting Thursday night, which I can understand. I did send a message yesterday, though, explaining that. So, but it is what it is. Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, both leaving their organizations. Wow, let's talk about that for a minute, right? Carroll, that's one thing, that's a big loss for Seattle, but I think Seattle will persevere on. New England's in trouble. I hear Gerard Mayo may take over as head coach over there. Okay. I'm hearing a lot of people, want Vrabel. I think Vrabel is a better fit than Mayo. I mean, Vrabel is tried and true, tested and shown that he can play. No matter how you feel about the Patriots and Bill Belichick, from being a Colts fan or, whatever, you have to respect what he was able to accomplish, right? He did a lot while he was the head coach of New England. And, things, you might put asterisks up and say, well, he cheated here, he cheated there, he cheated here, he cheated there. But he had a system, right? He had a system that it was all work, during practice. You came in, you worked your ass off. I heard that from a lot of players that played for them, but he had a specific, the Belichick way, the Patriot way, and it got them 6 Super Bowls. You can say it was Tom Brady all you want, but the majority of those Super Bowls were won off defense, not Tom Brady. I think 2 of them was won by Tom Brady because of how he played. But most of the time it was, 12-9, 9-6, something like that. That Super Bowl, you're going to tell me Tom Brady won that? I'm going to say it was a defense, Their very first 2 was defense, right? It's all about that. It wasn't all about Tom Brady. Not taking away from Tom either. Tom was a hell of a quarterback as well. I'm just saying it was a good fit between those 2 guys, between Tom and Belichick. I can talk about it now because we're not arch enemies anymore. Right. I got a feeling that over the next 10 years, it's going to be Jaguars, Texans, Colts is going to be the big arch nemesis. Finally get back in the division rather than, our biggest nemesis is New England and Pittsburgh, who we whooped both of them this year. All right. Got that out the way. We're done. That's good. Now we got to find a way to win the first game of the damn year, right? That's the final really heavy straw, I think. Well, winning in Jacksonville and winning the first game of the year. Those are the 2 big long streaks that we still have yet to accomplish and put behind us. I think we have a chance to do that this upcoming season. Can't wait for the draft. Can't wait for free agency to start. Got a lot of good information out of the Ballard presser. Got a lot of good information out of the Anthony Richardson presser, not pressure, which I'll probably do videos about later. But it looks like we're closing in on the 30-minute mark. No one's here yet. I did cover a lot, though. I like where our offense is right now. With the proper quarterback at the helm, I think they can be an elite offense. They were already top 10 offense in the league, right? This past year, and that was with Gardner Minshew at the helm. Imagine what they can be if Anthony Richardson can stay healthy. They'll definitely be top 10 again. Defensively, we need some pieces. Especially on the back end. But that's my thoughts. And of course, a premier edge rusher would be nice. It'd be tough to pay 2 guys $20+ million a year, but if we can draft one, we're picking 15 this year. If a premier guy drops to 15 and Ballard picks him up, who you pick? If there's a premier cornerback and a premier edge rusher, to me, you pick the premier edge rusher because guys who are, you can get a cornerback. It's tough. Don't get me wrong. Both those guys are important. Edge rusher to me trumps corner. All right, you can get a solid corner at like round 2, round 3. You ain't getting anyone that's in the top 10 edge rushers in the NFL outside of top 15. They're incredibly rare. They're so easily able to be spotted in the draft process that they are snatched up so quickly. And that's why I feel like, if he's there, you grab him. But we'll see. Appreciate all you guys. Leave a like, comment, And you don't have to really leave a like. Just comment, let me know that you watched it. Tell me what you think about what the points that I made today. And remember, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This entire off season. That's where Patreon will be. Until next time, I'm Lawrence. This is Colts Law. Have a good one.